really bad one because I gamed a lot when I was young.
Uh-huh.
I think it was Deuce 9mm.
Nice. Deuce 9mm.
I remember that one.
That's amazing.
And I
Mine
remember
was
that I like gave it to my classmates, like not embarrassed. Like I don't know what I was thinking.
I had one like right when we first got the internet. I was like really pumped up on Star Wars, and mine was like X Sith Lord X.
Oh, you were one of the X guys.
Well,
Remember those?
for a little bit, yeah. Like, and then I was like, oh wait, and like trying like after I understood a little bit more like what was going on, I thought you had to like make a chat room name for each like room that you're in.
Oh,
So I'd go to like the Star Wars rooms and be like, yo, dude, my lightsaber's awesome.
Now, was this AOL or was this IRC? It sounds more like IRC.
This was AOL back in the back day.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know if I ever got that deep into the Star Wars places, but they sound like there'd be some
Star Wars
interesting
chat
rooms.
room. Yeah. And it was like, this is so nerdy, but it was like you would write you would like write out like and, like you could draw like use your English characters to like make like a little lightsaber, like draw a little lightsaber like using a bunch of equal signs and a great pen,
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh my gosh.
So what's the topic tonight?
Yeah, so I mean we can, chat on whatever, but I definitely wanted to chat on just like starting your YouTube. So we're all kind of in different stages, and obviously Jared and I are big fanboys of dev tips. And
That
so
makes
like I just wanted to hear like just like I mean everything like like your thoughts getting started, and then like what you guys have learned and all of that stuff, and not just like producing wise, but just like generally things you've learned about yourself, and just whatever you've learned along the way. So yeah.
You go ahead and start.
One of the things that I learned is just how much work goes into it. Like, we used to watch YouTube all the time, and then like if somebody says something you don't agree with, you're like, oh, you comment, you suck. I didn't do that, but like that's like the kind of the tone of YouTube, right? Like it's just like you can have your opinion on whatever, and it doesn't matter. But like when you get into like producing the content, like there is so much effort that goes into it, and like when you get like somebody trolling on your channel or like just telling you like somebody so it's I don't even know, but somebody was saying on my channel like hey, you're trying too hard. I was like, I'm trying too hard. Like, what am I supposed to do with that opinion? Like, hey, I just won't try as hard. Like, of course I'm trying hard. Do you know how many hours I put into this video? Like, I wrote it. Like, I thought about the content for a very long time. I have a bunch of, like, subjects queued up. I wrote the script. I filmed it. Like, I edited it. I wrote the music myself. Of course I'm trying too hard. That's the point. That's the point. And I don't know. So now I'm venting. Now all of a sudden I'm venting.
Well, I can definitely tell, even from
anyway,
your early
what I want
videos.
to say is that what I learned about this, or what perspective mostly has changed for me, is the amount of effort and energy and thought that goes into these things. It's now I have like a huge respect for anybody's channel. I go to their channel and they have like videos of their fish tank, and I'm like, whoa, awesome, you did good. I'm like,
Scorsese.
right, yeah. Like I'm like really appreciative of anybody who has that. I mean, even just uploading a video, right? It takes forever, and you have to like name it, and you have to like put the tags in it, and it's like so much. It's so much work, and it's real work, So I respect people now.
You don't troll anymore?
I never used to troll, but like we used to laugh, you know, like watching a silly video. But like now I think about where those videos came from. Like I saw a video the other day, somebody got hit in the face with a shovel. And I was like, and like it's not just now that you're, you know, I used to like look at it as like you're a voyeur, right? And you're like, oh, I saw somebody got hit in the shovel, and you don't really consider like who took the video and saw somebody got hit in the face with a shovel, and then decided I'm going to upload this to YouTube. Like, who did that? Like, that is the question I have now. And I used to say, oh, did that hurt? Now I say, who uploaded that?
Well, the thing I think about too is you see a lot of young kids who are like filming all this stuff that they're doing, and I don't even have pictures. Like the kids I hung out with when I was in high school, like we didn't even use cameras. Like there's no evidence of all of the ridiculously stupid things that I did as a young kid. Like thank God. They're going to be terrified when they go look at their YouTube channel like 10 years from now and see themselves getting hit in the face with a shovel.
Yeah, that's right. Like everything is so much more documented now. I have a bazillion pictures of my kids, and like I look at my like childhood, I have like there's one photograph of me as a kid. And then like Jane and I, my wife and I, last night we were talking about how we wanted to start like a Twitter account for my daughter, she's 4, and just to like write down all the silly things that she says, you know, and then when she's like Twittering age, I don't know what that is, like 15 or something, give her the password, you know. Twitter now, but like now you can scroll through the history and look at like all the silly things you said when you were 7 or 4, you know.
Yeah, that would be super cool to have.
It would be like, wouldn't that be cool? If your parents gave that to you, hey, look at, you know, your time to tweet on your own now. You're a big boy. Here's what you said when you were like really in love with, you know, Voltron, and it was like the biggest thing in your life. You used to talk about Voltron all the time. Here's a record of it.
Totally. Well, with video too, it's like everywhere.
Video?
Yeah, I think we have a few like sporting events in our family that were recorded because, you know, my dad was like one of the early video camera guys that would like bring that like whole rig to like all of our events. And I have like this karate one when I was super tiny, and it is glorious. Like it is so cool. Like I want to be friends with little me.
Sports events, those like compared to other times in life, like seems like we all have a shitload of like sports events packed away. Like
not me, man. I was in
parted. Yeah, I suppose it's different, but I guess a lot of my friends.
I was in one little league season, and like our team quit halfway through the season because we sucked so bad. Like the team just gave up, and like the coach I think quit. I don't know what happened, but they were like, "Do you want to continue?" I was like, "No."
Awesome.
What sports did you play, Thomas?
I played basketball, football, baseball. I was really into it. Like my family was really into it, and like I like grew up. That was like my outlet, and now like I love playing sports, but like the culture grosses me out a lot, and like just a lot of like the shit that I did. Like I don't know, very very serious and very like consuming for sports. But yeah.
Do you like living next to Do you live near the stadium at all up there?
No, we live in Sunset by the ocean.
Oh, okay. I ride the train to work, and when it's like baseball season, the train is full of just drunk, annoying people that are just like going to the game. I sound pretty negative. I'm not a negative person.
I used to live like a block away from Coors Field in Denver, and it was hell during baseball season because it was just complete madness all the time. So I can relate.
Where are you now, Jared? You're in
Denver. Yeah.
That's cool. I was born in Colorado.
Oh, cool. Where at?
Brighton.
Oh, all right. Nice. I was in Fort Collins area.
Oh, cool. Brothers.
No, yeah.
So,
I think
going back to YouTube, how long have you guys been? So here's a question: how long did you guys like conceive of your channel identity project, what have you, versus the first video was launched?
Thomas, do you want to go?
I want to say like I launched it like almost like an hour after I thought of it, just because it was like a
Yeah.
hangout on air, and I was like, I guess I'll record this, you know? And I think I just kind of started recording stuff, and then I was like, oh, this is kind of cool because people were like watching it, and just like, you know, some of my friends, but some of them were like watching it, and I was just like so surprised that they were watching it. Like, Travis, you've had some comments back to your people where, you know, you're just like, I can't even believe people watch this. It's just kind of a humbling experience to imagine, like, you know, like you could just
Yeah.
can't imagine. And that's, I mean, that's like the hurdle for everybody to get into YouTube, I feel. Is like,
And now you were doing that on your own channel. You're like your personal like name, right?
well, yeah, well, I started this hang sessions just to have this like this channel just for hangouts like this, so
Yeah.
that like when I put out other content, I can have different expectations for it and stuff like that, or like kind of have different separate channels, because this is much more informal. Like I'm not gonna get like super formal, I don't think, with a lot of videos, but I think I'm gonna put out different types of content, and so I just kind of want to separate them. Is my
That's
thought.
cool. I really like your other ones. I like
Like,
how you chop out like those smaller vignettes.
dude, that like that's exactly what we're talking about with like the tweets and everything, like recording our lives. You know, I feel it's like the more we record, and like this, like if we record 24/7, all of the coolest moments, hanging out with our friends, like whatever, those will get captured, and then like we can like boom cut them up and share them in different ways. And like that was one thing I wanted to explore with this, is like, and actually, I mean, I kind of had ideas about recording more like this. Like when Google Glass came out, I was like, I wonder if people in their offices are going to record meetings and like cast them out to their communities, or like do things like that,
Mm-hmm.
or like kind of expand their walls. And then I was thinking friends and family, like all the cool moments, like those will get captured more with Google Glass, and like being able to share those. So I was just thinking, like, I think this is going to just get more interesting, long form, like podcasts and like recording your lives and like sharing that stuff. So
Yeah, I'm a big fan of podcasts, and I think that having like this, the hangout approach and then publishing it to a podcast is a really good idea, because you can like double up on your exposure, but you're not using as much energy to create content.
hmm yeah, totally. And I have, this could go a lot of different ways. So like I was thinking about potentially doing podcasts and stuff. So if you guys have any ideas, like now or later, like definitely let me know. But
For podcasts as a whole, or for like topics on a podcast?
no, I guess like as far as like how I'm doing, like how I'm producing these, like
Oh,
it's pretty. I haven't put a ton of thought into it. It's kind of just like record these with cool people and have some topics, and then cut them up and just kind of see what happens. Just explore, try different things. So.
I think that approach is essentially Thomas. It's very Thomas. Having known and worked with you for a while now, that's very much you.
Yeah.
Like me, I'm like the other way. Like I'm gonna think about this for like 2 weeks, and I'm gonna like write everything down, and I'm gonna have like subjects after subjects ready, and I'm gonna put it up on a Trello board, and we're gonna like think about it. And then Thomas, meanwhile, has 3 episodes out.
Yeah, no, and I think I'm kind of like somewhere in between both of you, where it's like I've started with thinking that I wanted to do like, semi-long, like 7 to 10 minute videos, and then I cut it down to 4, and then I did like the highly chopped thing, the standard YouTube, cut every the jump.
Somebody, sorry to interrupt you.
No,
but
yeah.
One of the YouTubers I really look up to once said that the jump cut is the laugh track of YouTube.
That's totally true.
Yeah.
It's
Anyway,
easy.
sorry.
I think everyone is, as long as you use them sparingly, it's not too bad. But I'm definitely trying to like get out of the scripted a little bit more and try and like capture, those genuine moments where you're just being completely authentic. But it's hard because talking to a camera is strange. It's not a human experience,
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's one of the things. Oh, sorry, Thomas. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that was one of the things that, as far as what I appreciate now about other YouTubers, kind of like what you were talking about, Travis, is like I don't know, just like I got in front of the camera like fucking like 10, 20 times before I was actually even able to get out like a minute-long video, you know? And
Yeah.
like yeah, talking to the camera is just so weird, and like my brain is so scrambled. I'm like I don't have any feedback, and it's like so unnatural. So it's like yeah.
Well, and that's why another reason I think this style thing where you're like recording conversations and then you can go find those moments where somebody was having a rant that they were passionate about or something like that and clip it out. It's definitely easier approach to getting to, an authentic, cut, or something.
Definitely.
Yeah. What
And
were
when
you
you
gonna say,
have a
Travis?
conversation going on, like with between two or more people, you have like those moments where like they're expressing themselves, and you can take in what they're saying, but also you can cue up your own ideas to express appropriately later. When it's just you, you're like, here's an idea one, and here's my thoughts about it. So that's cool. Idea two. Here's thoughts about that. It's really hard to like have the rhythm that you have when you have multiple participants in a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's the segues are few and far between unless
Right.
you really plan them.
Yeah, so that's why like I've tried it both ways, and like I've gotten a little bit better at going off script, but I really like I have to have a word for word script, and I take a few takes on each like sentence. Like it's so bad. I'm so bad.
I was so glad to hear you say that because like I started to record my course and I had like a few notes at first, like just like bullet points, and I
Yeah.
struggled so hard, and then eventually I now I'm writing out word by word, and it's like oh I feel so great about it, and like it's good to hear that you struggled and stuff because like I thought I was just crazy and like terrible at doing stuff.
Yeah, I was like the same as you, like kind of like, oh, I don't want to tell people that I do that. That sounds kind of like lame. Until I met, I think his name is Lance, is a guy that works at Wistia. Do you know Wistia?
Mm-mm.
They do video hosting for businesses, so it's like more of a B2B kind of a company. But they're in New York. But I was talking to their president or the CEO or whatever he is. But he was talking to me how he loves doing video, but he's like he has to take 500 takes and he needs a script and he needs to practice the script for 2 days. And I'm like, yes, thank you for saying that. Like it in some ways it makes it okay. When somebody who's like a little bit more experienced with you tells you that they have the same problem that you do, it like makes it okay for you to struggle with those things, and I think that's awesome. So I've been like including like outtakes right in the middle of my videos, like I'll say something really stupid, and then I'll just laugh at myself right in the middle of the video, and then I'll say the thing again, go back and do the retake, and I'll leave both of them in every now and then. I don't do it all the time because there's a ton of them, but I do it sometimes just to help people understand that like this is like it is real, like this is my time and energy, and like I'm staying up late I'm making sacrifices to do this content, and I want people to like kind of respect the humanity of it, so I leave those kind of things in. Maybe that'll
Yeah, I mean it builds authenticity, right? That's
right.
people like to feel like they're connecting with somebody real. Watching an Aaron Sorkin TV show makes you feel like an idiot because every word is pristine in everything that comes out of everybody's mouth or something. It's a high bar to hold ourselves to, I think.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's funny. The first video I saw of Dev Tips was quite a while ago. It was you like started the camera and you just went completely uncut for like the whole thing, and it was the first time you had tried it, and you were gonna like go. It was kind of like you pulled up your screen and like went into some ideas, and then you kept like looking at the camera and you're like, yeah, I kind of like this, like not worrying about what I'm saying a little bit and just for like talking directly to it. And that was like definitely one of my I had favored that video like way like months ago before I even was introduced to you through Thomas.
No, that was like and I was like sitting at my desk, right?
Yeah.
That was the first time that I'd ever tried that like approach, where I usually like have a script, I'm in my garage standing in front of like the white thing, and I'm like take one, go, you know. But yeah, that was a weird one weird weekend. My wife was like on like a trip or something like that, and I had put the kids to bed, and I was like, I made like 5 videos that night, and like they're like progressively sleepier. Like as I watch them, like the last video, I'm like, hey guys, this is gonna be a great video. Like the energy just goes down, 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 down.
Yeah, do you guys feel like you have to like? I feel like by default sometimes it's hard to have the same energy when you're not talking to somebody. Do you have to like psych yourself up or like you do something to get yourself like feeling animated or anything?
Yes, I do like you know like like that, and I go and I go a little like I jump around and stuff and try to get the blood flowing a little bit before I start talking and recording. And usually, like while I'm setting up my equipment, setting up the lights and the camera, I'm like singing to get my voice warm and drinking water too to you know.
Yeah.
That's if I'm doing it right. I usually do it wrong, and I don't do like you know.
How often do you record?
Well, I do a video every week.
So, but are you recording every day and just releasing like one of those things, or?
It's usually, well, it depends on the video and the complexity of the ideas. So like, this last video that I did, it was actually I put a video on another channel called PHP Academy. It's a really big channel. He has 100,000 subscribers.
Wow.
So it's really cool. This guy named Alex is this guy in England, and he lets me give him videos sometimes. It's really awesome. So anyway, I made this video for him, and it was an hour-long video. It includes like so that there's this web technology. It's like a do you guys know what SAS is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's a SAS plugin system, like mix-ins and stuff. And I interviewed the guy one of the guys who created it, and he talks about like why they made it and how it compares to other things that are available. And then after that, I switch into like showing how to use it, and it's kind of a lot of stuff. So making that video was like, you know, one night to do in the garage doing the stand-up, one afternoon in the middle of my work day to do the interview, another night to like record the like the coding aspects of it, like the coding clips of like explaining everything, and then like another night or two of editing and stuff. And then so I'm like writing music because I think it's fun to do the music. That's why some of it sucks, but it's fun because I do it. So I do the music like on the train, like and then I often write on the train. So all this stuff. I mean, so am I always making? Yeah, I guess like nearly every night. Sometimes I get tired and I go to bed, but it's just awesome. Yeah, it's a lot of work.
It's so cool. I actually grabbed a track from a guy I work with who does production, and that's what I've been using for all my videos, the video back. So I was just like, yeah, man, I'd love to do something original, and I can't make it, so go for it.
Yeah. The first season of Dev Tips was like standard music that I got from like, you know, online somewhere. And then it was only in the beginning of this year I started making it myself because there's like, and I do it all on like iOS music machines. Sometimes I use GarageBand, but like mostly it's like all like random apps and stuff. And like there's tons of them that like some of them are like really easy to use, and you can like easily just pump out a cool song, a jingle or whatever, a loop. And some of them are like really like drum machines. Like I'm like do 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 do, and like the, you know, like trying to like, I don't know. It's fun.
That's awesome. I wish I had
how to make the music, because sometimes it's like even more fun than the code.
That's sick, dude. Are you posting any of your tracks like on SoundCloud or anything?
Not really. I want to do that too, but like when it comes down to it, like the music that you make for the video, like background music, is a lot different than like a track that you would listen to, because it's like a loop and it's like you know, a 20-minute loop. or something, So you just like, it's not really listenable. It's just there for like texture and to kind of like high, like when you record, you get the in the background, like that hiss. So it kind of just covers that up a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, it definitely helps a ton. My videos without music sound so weird. Like it just, I mean, it sounds like I'm in some random basement or something. Like,
yeah.
But
life is just cool with music.
It is.
like I was listening to what's that one band? I don't know. DANCE, like that one. Do the this song. So
go on.
Huh? It was like anyway, so I was like walking down the street, and then like this cool dance song comes on, and then like right as I like step down on the off the curb, like the cool like boom, 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 like, and I was like walking around like this, like there's like music can like get in your life and like make you feel like a scene is happening,
That's one of my favorite scenes from Her. Did you see that yet?
Yeah.
That scene where she's in Her with Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh no, what's that? Oh, is that with like a computer?
Yeah. There's this scene in there where, like, since it's like the supercomputer, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're hanging out, and she starts, because he just like has a little earbud in, and she starts playing this music, this piano music, as they're kind of like hanging out on a rooftop or something like that. And he's like, "What's this?" And she's like, "Oh, I wrote it. It's about this moment." And it was like perfect. So she was like soundtracking live as they were, experiencing whatever the moment together, which is so cool.
So cool.
The movie's great, man. You got to see it.
I want someone to follow me around and play the right music at the right time.
Right?
Yeah.
So I just finished a book called The Rise of Superman, which is all about flow states and like the zone or whatever, like you get in sports.
Okay.
And this basically this dude that like looks at it from like a neuroscience perspective and looks at all the literature on trying to monitor what's going on in the brain and deconstructing it, and he kind of uses like extreme athletes as a very concrete use case of how to get in the zone because they do it so frequently. And it's it's just because it's like one of those activities that like sets all of the perfect conditions to put someone in a flow state. And so I've been obsessing now about how to incorporate that into the video making. And so like trying to get myself into a flow state every morning or something like that. And I don't know, I'm putting together. Huh?
You record in the mornings?
Yeah, I do. So I go in, I work on my own business and then do my videos every morning till like 10 o'clock, and then go into work and sit in some middle management, corporate America.
What do you do?
I manage a group of email developers at a email marketing agency.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you get the flow in your morning?
So like there's a bunch of things that like they say are very like essential to creating the flow state, and like the first thing is he like kind of outlines the steps of how to get yourself into it. And there's the first phase, which is like training and learning. So whatever kind of act you're going to be doing, you have to be doing a lot of research and letting your subconscious kind of process it. So that would be all the research, the writing, whether it's creating an outline for yourself, I don't know, figuring out how your brain works and how you process information.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second part is they call it like the release, and it's this moment. It's like the moment right before you're about to do whatever you do, where you have to like stop. Usually it's like you get some anxiety, you're like, oh shit, I got to do something, and you just kind of like shut off your brain and just leap without thinking. And it's like that, taking that leap is what throws your brain into that flow state where you stop thinking about past and future and you just kind of live in the present. And then, there's different ways to kind of keep your concentration while you're in that flow state, and, making sure that you're like challenging yourself and pushing yourself beyond your normal skill level, just enough, but not too much. So it's like this weird, it's like surfing a wave, figuring out how to ride it the right way every time. and repetition is really important. That's why I'm going to start recording like every morning. I'll just come in, throw on, like outline what I want to talk about, and then like maybe give myself 5 minutes so it like leaves some stakes where I know I'm like limited. So I feel like pressure because you kind of have to have that you have to have some stakes, and then just see what happens. And I don't know, I haven't had a ton of success yet, but it's something new to try. So we'll see.
That's awesome.
That's what I was going to talk about, the flow, as far as like that's totally what I've been trying to think about too, doing my videos. And so, were you talking about the neocortex at all?
I didn't go into the brain science now.
Because this dude gave this really awesome TED talk on this called like Hacking the Genome of Flow, and he was talking about how like our neocortex like goes dim when we're in the flow state. So like it's basically the part of the brain that like is like your self-critic. It's like kind of like your executive, does like the executive operation. So like it's important, but like it goes offline when we go into flow states. So it's kind of interesting because like a lot of people would assume that when you're in a peak state that like you're using all your brain, but actually you're not using all of your brain. It's like it's kind of crazy. So it's like trying to get that offline, trying to get that self-critic to go away is essential too in like getting in the flow or whatever. So that's something that I've been thinking about. And actually what's funny is like yeah, I have like a bunch of stuff that I do, like drinking a beer and like having a tea and like all of these like rituals and things like that. And actually, Travis, I watched the bloopers video, like your bloopers with your first bloopers video you did with
with Los.
Yeah, so like I literally watched that before I shot a couple of times because like and the flow video and like a couple other videos, and I kind of like stole like your vibes and like that guy's vibes. Oh shit. And like cause like I'm sitting there, and I'm like shit, like it's just me, but then like I kind of pull other people into the room, right? So like I kind of like pull you into the room and you're like laughing with like Los, and like you guys are just like fucking around and like just like enjoying your time. I'm like, oh yeah, cool, like I'll just do this too, like I'll just kind of chill and like enjoy like my time too, like. So like, it's interesting, like finding like artificial ways to kind of like create and like hack your flow, like just finding different things.
That's awesome. Yeah, when I work, I always have my headphones on, and I listen to music a lot. And I often like watch like a TV show or something as well, and I feel like sometimes like I'll like just be like flowing, like doing my projects and like getting stuff and executing and getting it done, and then I'll look up at the clock in the corner of my screen and I'll see that like I have like 1 hour until I have to leave the office, and I'm like, okay, go, flow, like it's like now it's crunch time. Can you like how much more can you get done out? So I think like music helps me get lost, but like having a time constraint helps me to like I guess like just like crush, like really like work as hard as you can and like make like concessions, like if something's not going to work out, move past it, or like don't do it that way as you thought you were going to do it the other way, or something like that. I think time can help you get stuff done really well if you have like a time limit, like you're saying, Jared, you like have 5 minutes or whatever your time limit is.
Yeah, you have to put yourself.
The video that I made recently for PHP Academy is an hour long. It was the worst thing ever.
There's an audience for everything, though. You never know what's going to catch on.
Right. That's what's crazy about it, is that like people are watching it and like they're commenting on it and and it's just it's insane that like I don't know. People will watch the whole thing. So like when I first started my channel, I was like talking with my wife, and I was like, okay, part of my because like how I plan everything, a part of my plan is to like I don't want my video to go over 8 minutes. Never. That's the rule. And like now that's like out of the window. Like it's part for the course for my videos to be like 20 minutes easy. but yeah, you're right. There's a different audience for that, I guess. It's not like a song or a comedy skit. Like this is like people are trying to learn something.
If the Joe Rogan podcast, which often goes for like 3.5 hours, can get the amount of views that it has, I think anybody will listen to anything if you're telling them what they want to hear, you know.
That's a good point.
It's tough. I don't know. Yeah, and I'm still kind of totally in experimentation mode where I'm just throwing things out there, seeing what works, trying to get feedback, you know, trying to look at your own work objectively, which is freaking crazy hard. Because you know you're your own worst critic, right?
every video that I put up, I don't like.
Yeah.
Like when I have to go back and like talk to people in the comments, I quickly pause because I don't want to watch that stuff.
Me too. I'm instantly like as soon as I get it, boom, pause. Don't want to watch. Nope.
Do you know about youtube.com/comments?
Mm-mm.
If you go to just youtube.com/comments and you're logged in as your channel, you'll have like all of your comments there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like across all your videos, ordered by most recent, and you can just like answer from there. You don't have to like go to each video page.
Done. I'm doing it. That's awesome.
It's a good place to be.
That's cool. Yeah, man, it's tough. I don't know. Who knows? Everybody has their own success. You know, I follow. What kind of your favorite YouTube channels that were the most inspirational when you started making videos?
You want to go, Thomas?
So Gary Vaynerchuk was one for sure because like he would just he was doing so much cool stuff that like I didn't really see anybody else doing. Like he would host Spreecasts where he like he would be like, okay, for 4 hours I'm going to be on Spreecast. You can ask me questions, and then so there were all of these little nuggets that like he would take from this like 4-hour Spreecast where somebody would ask a question, boom, he would like give an answer, and then like that would be like a little piece of content. It's like great content. Those are like a lot of the times like best like blog posts, the best types of like quality content when people have questions and like and like it's kind of nice. So he was doing that. I thought that was really cool. And then who else? Like Jason Silva, obviously. And who else? Like Peter Diamandis too. He was just like doing cool stuff, just like sharing his ideas and just pressing record. Like we all have so many good ideas, and like how many like just amazingly smart and awesome people do you guys know that just like would be so awesome on YouTube and like would, I don't know, like so many people I wish got over the hump. I lost my train of thought, but totally. But anyway, yeah, I wish more people would get over the hump of that anyway.
Yeah, I mean our brains are broken, right? We get these primordial parts of our brain that when you're putting yourself out there, you feel like it's like exposing yourself completely to the tribe, and if they don't like it, they might murder you or not let you mate with the women or something, right? So our brains are totally not wired for YouTube.
Yeah, dude, totally.
There has to be a certain kind of like audacity that you need to have when you're doing this, like every video that I make, like my wife the other day, she was kind of getting frustrated with me because she goes, "Oh, how did it go after you get done recording?" And I always go, It's just like you always go, like you don't think anything is good. You don't even. Why do you even do something? Why do you spend so much time on doing this? You don't even like it. And I like it. Like I like what I'm doing. It's just I'm very critical of it, and I think that you. Like having all of these videos that like I kind of don't, I'm not like in love with. There's like every video that I upload, I can see like parts that just really bother me, or I wish I could redo that, or I wish I didn't say it that way. You just upload it anyway, and you gotta say yes. This is just me. I'm just human. I'm kind of like I'm gonna do better next time, whatever. And you have to have this kind of like audacity to kind of like say, this is my damn channel. Back up off it. If you don't like it, go somewhere else.
Yeah.
But the stuff that I'm creating is like I'm putting, my energy and a large portion of the time that I have in the world into this stuff. So like, please, enjoy it, and hopefully it makes your life better.
I remember.
Party that's happening next door to me right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, you guys can't?
Nope.
Okay, cool.
It's funny you say, like the audacity to start. There's this video by Zay Frank. Did you ever watch his channel? Either of you?
Is he Chocolate Rain?
No.
No, he's like this white middle-aged guy who he did a YouTube channel for like a whole season, and it got really popular, and then he quit for a while, for like years. He did a couple TED Talks that got super popular too. I don't know. I'll have to put it up. Maybe I'll comment on this video after we post it, a link to it, and it's kind of about starting and just being like how to, at the end of the day, just be like, I'm just gonna do something. Like screw it. Like if I don't get it out and I don't start, there's nowhere to go from there.
Yeah, yeah. There's these guys that do it's a podcast called Execute. They also wrote a book. And it's along the similar lines. He's like, if you have a project and you can't get started right now, then forget it. Don't do it. Like, start right now on something. Like, if you've had, like, I want to do a podcast. Like, what can you do right now? Write a list of the topics that you're going to cover. Yeah. Write a list of the guests that you're going to have. Send out the emails to invite people onto your podcast. Do it right now. And and that's really the only way that you're going to get this stuff done. Like, how many people wish they could play piano?
Yeah.
They'll never play piano unless they start playing piano.
Yep, that's definitely the way it goes, for sure. I think, and there's lots of ways to kind of trick yourself. One of the things that was super beneficial to get me to like start doing things publicly was a book called The Lean Startup. Have you've heard of it? Like Lean. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the idea of the minimum viable product of just saying, once you figure out you want to do something, put out the most simple thing that you can that starts testing, how to adjust. And yeah, it's easy. Yeah, I bought a mic and got the cheapest, highest rated little webcam because I didn't want to spend $1,000 on DSLR, and just kind of did it. I don't even really know what was gonna happen, but we'll see.
The quality looks great, by the way.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's they said it. I mean, it's not DSLR, but it's pretty damn close, and it was $60 for the webcam.
Can't go wrong there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole thing. I read an interview with you, Thomas, recently. Was it a video or No, it was a video. I watched a video of somebody interviewing you about your work with Rolling Tree and the Facebook group that you guys started there, and then how you kind of like did this MVP hangout kind of community and stuff like that. I like that idea of using like the available technologies to like prove your idea before you have to go and build something. So like if you want to like start talking to people about X, like just create a Twitter account that's about it and just start tweeting and see if people respond. If nobody responds, maybe it's not a good idea, But if you get a whole lot of traction on it, maybe expand that into a blog or or a forum or something like where people want to talk about whatever the subject is.
Yeah, totally.
Had much success with other mediums other than video? Like, have you done blogs that you thought went well?
Who's that for me?
And either of you.
Oh, no, actually, I'm like traditionally a frustrated socialite because I don't know why, I had my own blog at travisneilson.com, but each article is art directed and designed individually, so they would take me about a month to produce. And if you're not producing content on a meaningful, regular schedule, people always like forget about you really quickly.
Yeah.
So my blogging was always very, very selfish. Like I would just do it because I loved it, and I would do it because it was meaningful to me. And then also once one individual would stumble across my work, they would have a lot of tasty snacks, but but it wasn't something that like gathered huge crowds over and over again. Same thing goes for like, you know, my Twitter and my Instagram. Like I was just too inconsistent with not only the content but also the timing of everything. And this YouTube channel is the first time that I like demanded that I have a very strict schedule and narrowed focus of content type. So I'm talking about coding and about the life and culture of coding. And I'm releasing every Monday and sprinkled in between if I have extra content, but every Monday for sure. And I think that those two like ingredients have really paved the way for the just the beginnings of success that I'm starting to see now.
Totally. It was really cool to see the way that you did it, because you just started putting out tons of content, and it was cool that like you did the one video with the ROI, that like where we saw like how much time you had spent and how much time people had watched and stuff.
Yeah, the end of last year.
And
that was funny. Like it was like the result was like it would be easier if I spoke to everybody individually.
Yeah.
But what's funny is that that archive of material, everything that I did last year, even though last year it didn't pan out one-to-one or it barely did, those are still paying dividends now. They're residual, and that's the interesting thing about YouTube and blogging as well, but YouTube very much, because like tweets are very ephemeral. They disappear right away. And you know, Tumblr as well, kind of, they have a little bit more staying power, but like blogs will stick around for a good while until they become obsolete. But videos hang around for ages, and they're like viral. Like there was a study done about like X number of viral videos, and like a lot of them on average are up months and months and months before they even become viral videos. Some of them even years. Like the Double Rainbow, remember Double Rainbow?
Yeah.
That was up for 4 years on YouTube before it got viral. I think
wow.
It was 4 years. Don't quote me on that, but it was something like that. And like that's the thing about videos, that it has like this really like evergreen kind of flavor to it, that the things that I made last year, if they were a blog, they would have been long forgotten. But since they're like video, some of my most popular videos were made last year. And I still see them, and I'm like, I'm so embarrassed about them. But they're some of the most popular things. In fact, I got an email this week from a fellow who said that his university professor, for one of their like you know, sections or chapters or whatever they were studying, they had to watch one of my series, the HTML5 Basics series.
Amazing.
And the
awesome.
whole class had to watch it, and like I guess their homework was based on it or something. I don't know. But like I really like the idea of their grade being dependent on watching my ridiculous videos.
That's super cool. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, I always look at it like planting seeds. When you start creating content, like you never know when it's going to come back. I've done it too a little bit with my own startup thing, where it's like I put things out that I thought were just complete failures, and nobody was reading, and lo and behold, you know, some new member comes in, and I'm like, hey, how'd you hear about it? And like, oh, I ran into this blog post that you wrote 6 months ago or something like that, and
yeah,
you just never know what's going to pop up.
And that's the thing about Twitter. Like I've seen it a few times, like where in a blog post, people will like embed a tweet, and that kind of like makes it a little bit more, you know, like longer lifespan. But
Yeah.
tweets just kind of come and go like so fast. Like, and like there are some people who are like professional Twitterers, right? Like they're I don't know. It blows my mind that you could have a like long-term audience on Twitter, because all of your content is gone in 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And people obsess over that, especially in like the entertainment and comedy industry. Like I know some like I've talked to like some comedians, and they like obsess over their tweets. They're like, okay, this is going to be real, and they're like sculpting the 140 characters to get like the biggest, you know, punchline or whatever, and like that's going to be gone in 10 minutes when you tweet it. Like somebody's gonna like scroll through their feed and go, and they're not even going to laugh. They're just going to blow air out of their nose really quickly, and then they're going to scroll past it. And that's tweeting.
Yeah, it's a completely different medium, and there's completely different rules for sure.
Yeah, I've been trying to get better at it because it kind of works as a promotional platform a lot, I think, because like when I make a video, tweet it out, of course. So I made a DevTips Twitter handle, and I've been a little bit more active with my Travis Neilson handle, mostly to talk to Thomas. but I really enjoy it as like a communication platform. But as like a broadcasting platform, it doesn't really do it for me, or at least I feel like. I don't know. I don't think I'd be very good at it.
Yeah, I'm not really impressed with any of the broadcasting platforms. I think YouTube would be great if more people used it in the way, where you actually subscribe and follow videos. But most people, who even very savvy tech people, like, oh, you can subscribe to channels? Like, I didn't even know that. Like, I get that all the time. It's so weird.
Yeah. People do know how to use it really well, though. Like people know how to like search videos really well and like find stuff and like.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Travis? Obviously, you know more about this than we do.
Yeah, I have a unique perspective on YouTube because like I work with it every day, all day. So that's actually how I got into the whole like YouTubing thing, is because of like meeting like pro level YouTubers and going to conferences and stuff, and like being like, whoa, this is like a real thing, like there's like a big kind of like culture built around it and stuff. What was the question?
Just is that the most efficient way to broadcast it though? Like, do you think the YouTube feed is highly effective at making sure people are getting all the content they need to and feel like they know how to connect with you and stuff?
No, I don't think that the subscribers mean very much. I think that they're a good like litmus, like to help you understand where you stand,
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that they mean like if you have X number of subscribers, you're going to have X number of videos. Like for example, when I pushed a video to this larger channel, he has 100,000 subscribers. Like think about how big that number is. Like, if you could fill a room of 100,000 people, we're talking stadiums here.
Yeah.
Like, huge, right? And this guy has this channel, 100,000 subscribers. That's so many. It's so many. And then when we pushed the video out, my video did really well on his channel, and it had 7,000 in the first month or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's weird. Do you think there's a lot of fake?
So it's a seventh of his subscribers.
Do you think a lot of fake subscribers are out there?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I've definitely heard that, like Facebook, for example, when you use their promotion tool to like get new likes, that they say they're like organically acquiring.
Mm-hmm.
It's been kind of like shown that there's like a really large proportion of places in like overseas that do like 90% of liking on pages that are paying for ads.
Did you see that video?
Like that. Yeah.
The guy who did this experiments himself?
Was it the Veritas guy, or what was the name of that channel? It's a science channel, right?
I can't remember it, but he like set up but he talked about why having fake likes was even worse than having low number of likes, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that the same thing applies on YouTube because, well, I think it could as YouTube gets bigger, but like that's a great question. I'm not aware of any like click farms that work with YouTube or that are on the YouTube platform, but the YouTube does have a similar situation in that they're like trying to be smart about your feed, right? If you subscribe to hundreds of channels, they can't show you every channel. And then they're also trying to mix in recommended stuff and what's trending and everything. Like so on your feed you actually have two tabs, right? You have a tab for what your feed is, and then you have a tab for subscribe to channels.
Yeah.
Your real feed. So yeah, I think you can very easily get lost in the feed. So that's why you have to, as a channel, have like a few kind of strategies to get around that. Namely, if you post at the same time every week, so like mine goes out at Monday morning at 8 o'clock. So hopefully, I mean, like ideally, if you're a fan of dev tips, you're going to be excited on Monday morning, and you're going to go to my channel. So I'm really excited about this new music app that's coming out called IMPC Pro. And every Monday morning, I'm like waiting for them to publish their video that's going to talk about the new feature coming up. And like I'm not waiting for it to show up in my feed. I'm actively going to their source, and I think that's going to be the difference between a successful channel with a lot of subs or a successful channel that has quality subs.
Yeah.
I'm partially talking out of my butt right now.
Well, I think that's the million-dollar question right now in all of social media is how do you make a feed that works? Like I use Twitter a lot, but in order to use it the way that I feel like it gives me a lot of value, like I have to keep I have to follow less than like 80 people. As soon as it goes to like 90 to 100, it's unmanageable. Like I can't have any, you don't read every tweet. You're missing things from people that you care about. There's other things, it takes a lot of like curation and time to get an effective feed on every single platform that I see.
On Twitter, just a weird bit of trivia, I don't follow anybody.
I didn't say that.
I followed recently, like so I will follow people temporarily. Like if I'm like, oh, you're cool, I want to remember you, I'll follow them like right in the moment, and then I'll catalog them into a list. So I use lists, and I use what's the tool? TweetDeck.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. So you can see like all of your lists. So I have like basically a bunch of feeds, but I don't follow them, and which is funny because my Twitter followers are like however many people follow me, and I follow them. It's like one person. But it's easier to do because, like, yeah, you're right. Like with a mixed feed, because I have different interests, right? Like I'm interested in comic books. I'm interested in comedy. I'm interested in programming and design. I'm interested in tech news. All of those in one feed would be really chaotic to try to understand.
Yeah.
It's nice to be able to jump out of worlds too. Like if one is just like flooded with stuff, you can kind of hide it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Kind of nice.
And also like if you have them separated, like I don't know if you're familiar, but TweetDeck allows you to have like these columns. So like each list that I have like, for tech news, like I can just I can see like am I caught up really quickly? Like yeah, I've seen these before. On to the next one. Whereas if it was all in one linear feed, it would be too much to parse. So it also like breaking them out by topics or by interests like helps you parse and like make sure that you're caught up. Although that's not really a requirement. I think there comes a time in your Twitter like usage where you have to just be like, F it, I don't care. Just give me what's latest, and then we'll just kind of worry about going back from there.
Yeah. Well, I loved what. Did you guys ever use Path, the phone social network?
No, I saw an interview with the guy, the founder, but
I liked. Yeah, I mean, it was like a really solid product, had really cool UI, but then when they launched it, my favorite thing about it was that it limited the amount of people that you could follow to 50 people. So it's like you had to choose close friends and and the people that you actually care to see the updates. Because I politely follow or subscribe or friend people often, and it leads to a disastrous feed.
That's awesome. Yeah, one of the things that on Twitter, if you're not following somebody, they can't message you.
Yeah.
No, actually, they changed that now. I'm pretty sure.
I heard that, and then they reverted because it was unpopular.
Yeah, I think like some celebrity. Well, because on Twitter, I know it's really it has a high level of inequality, similar to our wealth distribution in the United States. Like, there's like a super small portion of Twitter accounts that account for the majority of interaction. And those big people don't want people to be able to send them messages, just anybody. So I think that's what caused them to kind of fold on that one real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's one of the things I like about it, is because I don't want to be like for the people that I want to have intimate relationships with, like call me on the phone or like send me a text or like do something a little bit more intimate. Twitter, I like the fact that because I don't follow anybody, nobody's gonna message me, and it can just be this kind of like abstract, like there's like these tweets floating around, and if I want to interact, I grab one and pull it back and talk to it and then throw it back. But I don't have them coming like inbox. I already have an email that I ignored. Just go away.
Do you guys feel completely overwhelmed with the amount of feeds that you have? Like, just thinking about it, like, yeah, email, you got text messages, you got work email, you have Twitter, you have Facebook, you have YouTube now, you got, the podcast that you're subscribing to, like, I have so many feeds that I sometimes feel like my head's going to explode.
Yeah. I think that I think that I'm okay with them because I tend to use them in different places physically. So my work email, I only use it when I'm at my desk at work. I don't do it at home really, unless it's like a big launch night or something, But and then like Twitter, I do it when I'm in TweetDeck. I open up TweetDeck. I don't do it on my phone very much, unless like it's like somebody tweeted at me directly. But like just to scope what's going out, I go to TweetDeck. So it's like a destination I go to, and like I listen to podcasts while I'm walking to work. So like these are like very like destination driven interactions, which helps me to like not feel overwhelmed by their variety and their volume. I don't know.
Yeah, I find that like the more stuff that I have, the more feeds that I have, the more it forces me to try to like think about how I'm spending my time. It seems like the more stuff that distracts me, seems like, I don't know, especially because I've been conscious lately. Are you either of you familiar with Douglas Rushkoff?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I am.
He just wrote a book called or not recently, but he wrote a book called Program or Be Programmed, and basically he just talks about like the asynchronous bias of technology, and that like as like we don't take advantage of the asynchronous, meaning like I send you a message, like the computer doesn't care when you send me a message back. Like you can sit there and then just wait until you want to send that message back, as opposed to like a real life conversation where you have to act right in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And it just says like we haven't taken advantage of that. Like we've strapped it to our arms and we act as though we need to respond right away. And it's just he has some interesting thoughts.
Well, and it's definitely a backlash, right? Like that's why young people who use technology a bunch like never make phone calls, because there's like, send me a text message so I can deal with it on my terms, because it's kind of the only way to stay sane. You can't like drop everything to like instantly, oh, let me pause all the things I'm doing right now. And that's why I think from a user interface perspective, I don't know if you guys have seen the newest Snapchat update, but they have this feature where you send text messages to each other now, which is nice. And there's this feature that's, if you both are literally physically in the text message window at the same time, you then have the option to open a video chat, because it knows that you're both have the opportunity to be present. That I think is super smart, like contextual user experience thinking that I just love.
That is cool. I think my main issue with pretty much every social platform is that I feel like an island every time I join one, because I was never like the cool kid, and I never had tons of friends, and so when I join like Twitter, I'm like, okay, here's a tweet, and it disappeared. And then I'm like, okay, that sucked. And then like everything is kind of like that for me. Like if I joined Snapchat right now, I would open up, look at the UI, and then I'd probably delete it. And I have nobody to Snapchat to. And it's not because I don't want to Snapchat. I don't even know if I would want to. It's just that I couldn't because I would have nobody to chat to.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough problem to solve.
And then they're like, download your Gmail contacts. I'm like, okay, I'll download it. Nope. Nobody to talk to.
Or it's like the few people are like, ooh, I really don't want to talk to any of them.
Right. Yes. That's the part actually that I didn't say. It's like nobody that I want to talk to. That's a good point.
Yeah.
There was this app a while ago. I think it was called like Circles or something, and it was like a proximity meet people in your proximity kind of thing, right? So like the use case is I have Circles app and I get on the train and I'm on my commute and then I look, there's a guy right in the same car who has the same interest as me. Why don't I go talk to him? And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Like I like meeting people. I do. I really do. So I tried out Circles and again I was like this island and I was like so lonely. And the CEO wrote me a letter, an email, and he's like, hey, I saw that you, and I'm sure it was a form letter to everybody, but it was like, hey, I'm sure I saw you did the Circles app. How did you like it? We want feedback. And I wrote him back, and I'm like, Circles app just reminds me of how pathetic I am and that nobody likes me, and I hate that. And he's like, oh, like pretending like he's interested. That's interesting. Let me take you out to coffee. This is like a Silicon Valley thing. Let me take you to coffee, and then we'll like do like and I'll talk to you. And I was like, sure, if you really want to find out, this is just, it's pathetic. If you want to find out, that's fine. Take me to coffee. And like, he never wrote back. It was typical of how I interact with like social applications. I just suck so bad at them.
One of them that interests me a lot is Secret. Have you guys used it yet? I haven't used it because I'm not on iOS. I have Android.
Yeah, I'm familiar, and like that's an interesting one because it does use your contact list, right?
Yeah.
But
and it, like robustly too. I think it like takes phone numbers and compares them somehow. So it gives you like a way better representation of people that are in your actual social graph.
That's interesting. So the idea is, and correct me if I'm wrong, that they will use your social graph and coming in from your phone book, from your Gmail account, everywhere. Facebook, and then when you post a message, it will go to all of them, but they won't know who did it.
Yeah.
So they know that it's somebody that they know.
Yeah.
But they don't know who.
Exactly.
And so you could be like, dude, I totally made out with your wife, and they'll be like, somebody made out with my wife, like.
Yeah, it's really weird. And I guess you can see public ones too, like if they get really popular. And it will say like, this isn't a friend, this is just like a popular anonymous thing that has gotten a lot of attention. But yeah, I hear a lot of people get on there too and like see like offensive tweets, and they're like, this is from one of my friends, or I don't know what they're called, whispers, and they see it and they're like, oh my god, this is somebody I'm connected to. Like, this is terrifying. Whoever this is, I need to excommunicate them.
That's right. Like you can just be as like insidious as you like, and nobody will know it's you. But it's interesting because it is directly like impacting the people that you know, which is a part of like internet culture, was just to like be a troll to people you don't know. But this is like bringing it home, but still keeping the anonymity of it all.
Yeah,
which is interesting. So I did download Whisper.
Okay.
I still have no friends, so it didn't work out.
It didn't work? Oh, man.
It didn't work for me because they were like, do you want me to look in your phone book? And I was like, nah. I don't know anybody. I don't have anybody I want to whisper any secrets to. And then like, okay, let's look at these popular ones. And I was like, oh, these are all, I don't care. So I deleted it.
That's funny.
I have 5 friends on Secret, allegedly. Just downloaded it.
You have 5 friends?
Yep.
So
5 friends. Yep.
Oh man, well I better get wrapping up. Actually, I gotta get a couple things done before I hit the sack.
Okay.
Deal.
But yeah, this is cool. It's good to talk to you guys and riff about your insecurities on camera.
What a great place to do that.
Right, live on the internet for everybody to see.
Totally. Cool. Well, thanks for chatting, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
this is fun.
Later.
So what's the process now? This is like already on YouTube or something?
Yeah, so well, actually, as soon as I hit stop broadcast, this will go to YouTube. Dude, how don't you know about Hangout on Air? I guess it's just a feature you've never.
Every time that I've like done like interviews with people, I record it privately, and then I edit it and then put it online. I've never done anything on air.
Yeah, so this, as soon as I go stop broadcast, it'll go straight to my YouTube channel. And like I was saying before, Jared, it's cool if you hop out, by the way. If you want to.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Hey, it's good talking to you, man.
Yeah, I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, see ya.
Bye.
So yeah, it's cool if you put this to the public. Anybody can troll on your video, and I've had a couple trolls just like get on and start talking mad shit and stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is kind of awesome. And you know what? Actually, one of my friends did one of the coolest things like I've ever seen, and I think I have it like unlisted somewhere in my YouTube channel. And this troll comes on, and he's just talking shit or whatever, and I was just like, I couldn't get anywhere with him. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to like exit you out. And my friend Monica, she's just like the coolest lady. She's just like, you know what? She's like, hey, like, she started asking him questions and like flipped this troll to like started having this like nice conversation, and like then we ended up having this like 30-minute like conversation, and it was like all good, and she like totally like.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Anyway.
So how often do you do? Is this your first Hangout session?
This is the second one.
This is the second one for your channel?
Yep.
When did you do the first one?
I did the first one like 4 days ago.
That's cool. And how did that go?
Good.
Was it as long?
What's that?
Wait, how long was it?
It's like an hour, just like right around an hour exactly. And shoot, what was I gonna say? No, I don't know what I was gonna say now.
So I'm familiar with the concept. I've just never done it because I've never had like the need or something. But I think that like there's a lot of cool things that it does over the scripted kind of like edited way that I've been doing it, which is that you can have a lot of people join in, and it can be like this kind of free flowing like none of that was just scripted that we just did, but like there's some pretty good bits in it, I think.
Yep.
So if it's 100% on your YouTube channel, how are you going to edit it down?
Well, so I keep the full there, just like podcast style, right? Essentially, is where it's just like long form, and that's like essentially what we did is just like a podcast, you know? So I just keep that, and then I can just go to like clipconverter.cc and just like take out bits from my YouTube video, like just like scrape it right from YouTube.
Oh, okay.
And then download those little clips to my computer, and then throw them on Premiere and edit them up, and then post them.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes, yeah, it's sweet. It's like, and as far as like ROI, it's crazy. Like there's no time really into like production of this, right? And
I like that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And so like yeah, then you edit up some clips, and voila, you have some stuff. So that's pretty cool. But like I definitely like what you're doing actually. So I copped a white screen like you have, and my course that I'm gonna sell on Udemy is like more kind of like professional. I have a screen and stuff, so I switch it up. Still unsure. Like maybe like sometimes I'll do a hang session with a white background, but like I kind of feel like the brand is more kind of like hanging out wherever I am.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So, but I don't know. I'm playing with it, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, dude, like Hangouts are so cool, and especially with like a community, potentially really cool. Especially like when you're kind of teaching something, it might be.
So it was open this whole time, right? Somebody could have jumped on.
Actually, like I didn't put it to public this time. Just like I don't really have a protocol. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
Right.
And if
I'm thinking about how I control on your channel.
Yeah. So I have a little bit of control there.
No. I said I'm thinking about how I can be a troll on your channel.
Oh. Yeah, nice.
I'm like, so he does it public. I'll just jump on and start interrupting his conversations.
Yeah, yeah, seriously. It's kind of interesting. Although, like, I dig it. I don't know. Keep playing around with that. Like the way my friend Monica handled it was seriously so boss. She just like didn't succumb and just started asking the dude questions and totally made him friendly. So it was pretty cool the way she handled it.
Do you think that the latency of the Hangout technology contributed to the trolliness of like somebody comes in and starts talking? It's very easy to talk over each other in the Hangouts. I think that like that can, I don't know, that would get really frustrating if somebody came in and just started saying stuff and you couldn't get a word in because of the technology, not because they were a good debater or anything.
Sure. But yeah, you can like take people out of your Hangouts and things like that if they're being a problem. So
Yeah.
you can always have that control. I suppose then they could like create another account and hop on again. But yeah, and then like I was talking about on that one video about Rolling Tree, the Hangouts were so cool. I mean, like if I just think about the best relationships I have with people in the community, they're people that I got on Hangout with, like for sure. It's just like a whole nother level of communication, which is really cool. And
I kind of want to do something with Dev Tips now. This is awesome. Like I could like say like, hey, Dev Tips, we're having a scheduled hangout at this time. Join up. And how many people can join? 10?
10. But then everybody can watch live too. So then like people can like wait too. So like there can be 10 people on and X amount of people waiting and watching, and then like they can hop in or like ask questions, and stuff like that.
Right, because there's like a little chat thing, right? You can.
Yep. You can like pop on like a Q&A, like see on the side and listen.
Oh, Q&A.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You do screen share, like all that stuff is free.
Oh, this is really cool. I'm familiar also with the concept of help outs. Do you know about help outs?
It's really
Have
cool.
Are you gonna start doing that?
Are you gonna start doing those?
I'm not sure. Like that does interest me. I don't like the way that there's like money involved. Like I don't want Dev Tips to be about money. But like, I mean, I guess you could do the same functionality just with a regular Hangout then at that point, right? You'd be like, oh, I have a coding problem. Let's jump on a Hangout and try to share screens and stuff.
Yep. And like one cool thing is, gosh, one thing that kind of sucks about doing the Hangout on air, I think, is like once you start a Hangout on air, like pretty sure everybody on your channel sees it. So you can't just do 100 Hangouts on air and then like take the best ones if you don't want to keep spamming your community. But I guess what I was thinking is like if somebody in your community was like, hey, I want to work on something, and you were just able to record it, and if it was valuable, if you're like, oh, okay, like everybody could use this, then you could just share it. Like that has been really nice, because like I've recorded a ton of stuff that I haven't put out that just didn't work out, but then there's like some conversations where people will hit me up and say, I want to talk to you about X, Y, or Z, and then I'll just record it in case something good happens, and like sometimes good things do happen. So that's
How do you record it if you're not on air?
So that like I actually was just doing on air, which kind of sucked because like I mean I only had,
spamming your audience, right?
Yeah, which is only like 15 subscribers, so like I don't even think like I didn't even think they were like cared or noticed even.
Right.
But actually, like all of those people, a lot of those people were kind of just watching just my super random conversations that I was putting out. Like a few people like will watch everything I put out, and it's so crazy to me.
It is, yeah. I've like had people comment that they're marathoning my content.
Totally.
This one guy watched everything in like a few days, and I looked at my in Tubular, the product that we make it work. I can see every like interaction, so I can see every video he's liking it, like from the start to the end. Like every video has a like. A few of them have comments, but like he's like seriously watching everything. It was like mind blowing. Like I wouldn't do that.
Dude, your stuff is awesome. Like I was saying, Devaney and I will like literally especially when we hadn't seen all your stuff, we would just like get on and be like, oh, let's just watch some Travis videos and just like have a laugh and like have just like be entertained. So it's awesome. And actually, like I was saying about just the way you went about it, I think was really great. And like as far as just creating like solid content, you're really focused on your content and like knowing that that's gonna pay off, right? Instead of kind of I don't know, just like worrying about like how many people are watching it right away and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Because like you're putting out unreal content, so it's only a matter of time.
Yeah, it like it's weird. Like just actually today is a kind of a big day in terms of subscriber count. My channel just passed 1,500 subscribers.
Nice.
Which is it's like a round number. You know, it kind of means something. But like, I don't feel like it's any different than when it had like 20.
Mm-hmm.
Like I get more comments, you know, but like everybody that is like active, you know, like commenting or like sharing or tweeting or liking, like they're all like really, really cool and really positive. Only rarely I have somebody tell me that my face is annoying or something like that, you know. And that does happen. And it's funny because like if you can get like 100 like, hey, that was cool, like you drew a cool piece of art, and like you can like post it on DeviantArt and everybody's like, yeah, it's cool, and you're like floating on air, and then one guy goes, it sucks. And then like that's the only thing you can think about. That one guy who said it sucks, you know.
Totally. And that's like way best case, right? And like most of us are gonna have, you know, like a lot of people hating, right? And like one thing that Seth Godin said that I love as far as like writing blogs, I was gonna say this, as far as like putting out content and having confidence, is he's talking about like you write a post and like all these people over here are gonna like hate it and tell you suck, and then like all these people over here are gonna tell you that you're awesome, and you just kind of gotta go over by the people that are like telling you that stuff and just hang out with them, right? And be like, okay, I'm just gonna go hang out with these people and like do this, and I'm not gonna worry about all of you.
That's like, yeah, it's just like real life, like.
Yeah.
Right, like you hang out with people you like and that make you feel good and that help you become a better person.
Certainly.
And for the people that like just want to bring you down, just ignore them or kind of like actively avoid them, I guess. Yeah.
Totally.
Cool. I'm really excited about Hangouts. I want to crash your party more often.
Dude, totally. I want to have you.
Cool. All right, man. I'm gonna head out too.
Cool. Peace.
Take care. How do you quit?